There's a moment that happens for many of us after we begin to see these patterns, and it doesn't always look the way we expect. It's not that you suddenly see it everywhere and, oh, I see that, I'm not going to do that. More often, you catch it after the fact. You're halfway through something or already finished, and you think, oh, I see what I did there. And in some ways, that awareness really becomes the booby prize. It's like, because now you see it, you know, and it doesn't feel like we're winning at it yet. So the last several videos, we've been naming patterns that many of us live inside. The invisible expectations and expanding responsibility, the instinct to handle things, to figure things out. And for many, something has started to shift. It's not necessarily in what you're doing yet, but it's in what you're noticing. And often that noticing comes after you've already done the thing. It's awareness in retrospect. So for many, this stage of awareness doesn't happen in real time yet. It happens in reflection. It's after the conversation, after you've stepped in, after you took over, after you said yes. You look back and think, oh, I actually didn't need to do that. Or it really wasn't mine to carry. And there can be a mix of emotions in that moment. Clarity, the recognition of it, and also frustration. Sometimes we might even feel some disappointment in ourselves. It's this I see it now moment. And in this stage, it's not before, it's not during, it's after. And it can feel almost like watching a replay. You can see the moment you stepped in, the moment that you took the responsibility, the moment you moved into figure it out mode. And now you see it clearly. Because once you see it, it's tempting to think, well, now I see it, I should be able to stop. And when you don't, it's it's a time then we turn on ourselves. It sounds something like, why am I still doing this? I should have known better. I should be better than this. And this is where something really important needs to be said. This stage is not failure. It's the beginning of awareness. These patterns have been practiced for years, likely decades. They became efficient and effective and part of how we move through life. They've been the survival lens and survival skills. So, of course, they're not caught immediately. Of course, it's after the fact at first. That's how awareness works. This is why awareness can be a bit of a double-edged sword, because now you see it and yet you're still doing it. You see the pattern and you're also still inside of it. And that can feel uncomfortable, even discouraging. But see, this stage is incredibly important because you can't change something that you can't see. This is also when grace becomes essential. It's grace for the moments that you see it and grace for the many moments that you don't, because you'll miss it. You will still step in, you will still take on things that aren't yours. And it's not because you're failing, but instead it's because you're human, because you've practiced this way of being for a really long time. And instead of asking, why am I still doing this? You might begin asking, how long have I been doing this without even noticing? You could also ask, what would it look like to meet this moment with a little more grace? What if noticing after the fact is still progress? See, those questions open doors that self-criticism doesn't. The first real shift isn't stopping the behavior, it's shortening the gap. It's shortening the gap from I didn't see it at all to I saw it later to eventually I'm starting to see it sooner. And over time, I notice it while it's happening. But see, that takes time and practice. And many of us are known for our accomplishments and our efficiency and effectiveness in getting things done. We're not always really well known for our grace with ourselves or our patience with ourselves. So here's something to notice this week. Not what you change, just what you notice after the fact. Where did you step in automatically? Where did you take responsibility that wasn't fully yours? Where did you move into figure it out mode? And instead of really judging it, just acknowledge it in the moment of reflection. I see what I did there. That alone is a really powerful shift. There's a stage in this process where you begin to see things and you're still living inside them, where awareness shows up after the fact, where you are catching the patterns instead of preventing them. And that stage can feel really frustrating. And it's also where change begins. Because once you can see something, even in hindsight, you're no longer fully inside it. And that matters more than it seems.